and welcome to a new Product Tuesday video. Today I'm featuring this Lawn Fawn +1 stamp set. It's a great stamp set for any kind of baby shower or baby cards, and I'm actually going to focus on this mobile stamp. So I'm starting off with some Nina Solar White cardstock, and I'm going to stamp it on my stamping pad, which is really just two pieces of black foam, thick foam that makes it easier to stamp. So I'm inking up my stamp, and you'll see I stamped this a couple of times because I wasn't really happy with the first one. And today I'm integrating this new technique called mirror stamping. I'm making this dangling card, so I want a stamped image that matches this, this one here. So to mirror stamp it, I'm actually taking the stamp and putting it on the flat surface of any other stamp. This happens to be a Simon Says birthday stamp. Simon Says stamp, birthday stamp. But you can use any other stamp. So you basically ink up the back of another stamp, and then you turn that stamp around and very carefully push that onto the paper. So you get a mirror image. Super cool, right? It's a little bit light, so I'm going to go over it later with a marker. And you'll see here I stamp it a couple of times because I really wasn't sure that that first stamp was good, but eventually as I looked through it, I realized that, you know, don't mess with don't mess with it. So I change it a couple of times. So here I have the stamped images, and like I said, I like the third one the best. And the lines are a little bit light, so I'm using the Copic Multiliner 0.5 pen to draw in all the lines to make it look a little darker, as if I had stamped the image. The Copic Multiliner is great because this pen works well with Copic markers. Surprise, surprise, it's no wonder that they make this black pen to go with all of their awesome markers. So here I am just coloring it in, and now I'm going to figure out which colors I want to color everything in. So I'm using this really handy dandy hex chart which shows by visual representation all the different markers, and I'm missing a ton of colors. Obviously there's two charts, there's a color chart and there's a gray chart, and it's very helpful. So you guys should check it out. Sandy Alnick makes it, so you can go to her website. I'll put a link below and you can go download a chart from there. Here I realize I did not zoom the camera in, so I apologize, but I will list the colors that I used in all of this coloring for the entire mobile. And I'm actually going to speed up the video because you guys don't want to hear me talk for a million minutes. So I will be back when the coloring is done. So here are all of the images colored in, and I'm going to show you the paper I'm using. For the card base, I'm using a standard A2 size card. It's 5.5 inches tall by 8.5 inches wide, which I'll score at the 4.25 inch mark. For the pattern paper, I have this cute pink and blue starred paper from K & Company, and this reminds me of little twin stars from Sanrio, so it's a flashback to childhood. And some yellow pastel solid paper for the frames. And first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to check and make sure the die cut fits over my mobile images, and I'm going to cut all of the paper down to size. So now I'm going to cut all of my paper down to size. I'm starting with the pattern paper. I want this to cover the entire front of the card, so I'm cutting it at 4.25 by 5.5. And you'll see that I go back and I cut the blue paper again because I think I mismeasured. Oops! Anyways, after this, I go in and I score my card bases. So again, I'm scoring at the 4.25 inch mark. So this will be a side folding card. That way, when you open it, you still have the mobile dangling in the right direction. And then I'm using this Tombow temporary adhesive to just gently, temporarily adhere the front to the card base. I want to make sure when I die cut these, nothing slips and they match up perfectly. So here I'm measuring the die to make sure it fits perfectly. This is a fancy frame die from Sizzix. It's a framelit. I love using this one. It's all battered and bruised, but it still works. I've probably used it in so many different projects that you've seen on my blog. I'm going through, and I'll do the blue one first, but then I'll repeat the same with the pink one. And you know, again, I just want to make sure that window lines up with the card base window. So now I'm going to take the mobile and I'm going to die cut that. Now the die that Lawn Fawn gives you matches the normal facing direction. So I'm going to cut that one out first, which is the second image I stamped. And then for the reverse one, you know, it's not going to fit on the front, but it'll fit on the back. So I just hold it up to the light, line it up as best as I can, put it on the cutting mat and cut that out. And you'll see here I cut it, it's slightly off, but the die shape is still the same, so it'll be fine. And then I'm taking the fancy frames, the one size larger than the window that I cut out, and I'm making these yellow frames. So I just stack 2 pieces of yellow paper on top of each other, and then I run it through the machine 2 times so that I get 4 different yellow frames. Okay, so now I have my 4 frames die cut, and here are the cards, and now comes the fun part of assembling everything. I'm using this silver metallic thread to put on the back of the mobile, and I'm using permanent adhesive this time. I know it looks pink and green, but it's really the pink Tombow a Mano permanent adhesive. And I'm using a little bit of score tape as well, just to put it on the back and make sure that the string stays in place. So this part is a little bit, you know, you have to be very careful with it to make sure nothing slips. And surprisingly, I have a second one already made. And I'm using the clear Wink of Stella pen to add a little bit of shimmer to the stars and the moon. And then I'm just going to go ahead and put adhesive around the side of the window, string the mobile through. I'm again using a little bit of score tape in different places just to make sure the string stays there. So this is a very sticky endeavor, but it's totally worth it. So it takes a little bit of time. You know, I think what's great about this card is that once it's all done, when you open it up, it flips so you can see both sides. I'm again using a little bit more of that Wink of Stella, and I'm just putting it on the pink stars for the pink card, and I will use it on the blue stars in the blue card, just because. And then I realized that I forgot to put the frames on. So here I am just gluing the yellow frames. I think the yellow just adds a little bit more color and a little bit of a finishing touch. So I'm using the Zig glue pen and just putting that around the edges. It's blue glue, but it dries clear. So, and there's the finished pink card. And now I'll go ahead and do that same thing with the blue one. So again, stringing the mobile through the center, adding the score tape, and then I'll put the frame. I'm actually going to put the frame on the card itself first, and then I'll glue it. I don't know. I just did it differently this time, just to change things up a bit to see if you guys are paying attention. So, but that's pretty much it. That's the entire card making process. It was super fun. I decided not to put a sentiment inside this card because there was already so much going on, and on the inside I wanted to leave some room to write a message, and it's kind of hard to write a message right in the center of the card because you don't want it to show through the window. So I just kept it blank inside, and I love spinning the little mobile on the inside. So thank you guys so much for watching. Here are some close-up shots of both of the cards that I made. If you're interested in the supplies I've used or more detailed directions, please visit my blog at www.bubblegumpaper.com. and you can check out all the other projects I've made. Thank you again, and see you next time. Bye!